Alright, so I look at my opening hand. It is not the best. Decide to mulligan and keep a pretty good 6. Start off with that island. Shit the turn. I remember watching some videos, and he was playing a fairly aggressive deck, which had me a little worried, but I knew if I just played around werewolves and whatnot. But I think there was a good amount of humans to deal with after watching me. So yeah, he gets a pretty good start with Cloistered Youth. I go ahead and just curse him, start speeding up my clock. I'm fine with taking the initial 3. I could have taken care of his dude, but I'd rather get a clock down. So when you're playing the aggressive decks, you gotta race him a little bit too. So he flips. I thought about playing that card in this deck, but the loss of life actually seems pretty bad for me, so never really decided to draft that card. There's his flyer. Slightly annoying. And I'll start getting beaten. Yep, just take care of that big guy and play down an occultist. Now, obviously doesn't block his flying creature, but might as well play it. I have a pretty good clock on him, and he only has a 2/3 that's dealing damage to me, so even though I don't have much going on, the power of Tome shows up in this game. Just being able to do a lot of milling. So yeah, take 2. Ouch. Now next turn I have a situation where I can play and activate Cellar Door, so I think about whether or not to play that Bonds of Faith on the Chapel, and I decide to go with Cellar Door, because then next turn I can also play Bonds and activate Cellar Door. Just trying to get a 2/2 out of it. I could have played both, but it's also good to save Bonds of Faith in case he plays a bigger threat. The Sentry isn't too hard to deal with right now. But the flyer is a little bit annoying. Right now he's got about 7 turns to kill me, so I want to try and do something a little more defensive. He's starting to build up a little bit of a board here. He does play a werewolf, so I want to try to keep playing spells on my turn. So we'll mill him and see what we get. And we do get a zombie. Take out a Spectral Rider. We untap, seal land. Nothing that great. So Bonds of Faith take care of his fire. And after that, all we really want to do. Still in a pretty good spot here at 13 life. He doesn't have very much power, and I have a human rogue that can't be tapped. Now he's got a Voiceless Spirit, which is a bit of a problem. It's a flying card that's hard to block. But I'm milling him about 4 cards a turn. Granted, I don't need to use all my mana. No zombie this time. We untap and we see a curse, so that's pretty good. That makes his clock a lot. He has a lot less time to beat me. Play the Isolated Chapel, and now I'm able to activate Cellar Door as well. He just taps down the Zomb. Get to mill 4 cards here at his upkeep. He is running low on time to beat me. Yeah, so far I've only played 4 spells, but... Or, sorry, forgot his 6 spells, so it's fine, but... Yeah, again, this is a game where you see how good sensory deprivation is. I would have been taking 3 many turns, and it's just really good in this deck because I never have to attack. Like, obviously, an 0-3 is a pretty good blocker for him. So in like an aggro deck, Sensory Deprivation isn't the best ever, but in this deck, it's almost like hard removal. It takes out a lot of things. So I lose my Occultist and a land, kind of annoying. So in response, why not? We'll activate Cellar Door. See if we can't get any more zombies. No zombies. So we'll just mill him one. Even less cards I have to deal with. At this point, I would like to draw a spell to deal with. Because he's got a werewolf. I didn't need too much. He's gonna get in here for, what is that? 6 damage. So he's got about 2 turns to kill me. 6 damage doesn't even kill me. I draw another curse. I'm not so sure that playing the curse is correct here. I think I should have just used the mana for Cellar Door activation. 3 curses doesn't even really accelerate my clock any. So probably just using the mana for Cellar Door would have been better, because it would have given me possibly another blocker. So mill 6, he's got to kill me this turn. I see 7 damage, so unless he's got some burn or pump, which his own bonds could do it, but doesn't look like he has. And he just concedes. So yeah, I probably should have used Cellar Door's activation instead of playing that bonds I drew. But then again, it keeps his... Oh, no, that's why. I played it because he had a werewolf. So if I didn't play it, his werewolf would have flipped. And I probably would have lost. Yeah. So, again, just bringing in some more cards to deal with aggro. Took out a witch, starting to realize it's not the best card ever. Thinking on the second card to take out to fit both of these in. To be honest, I should have taken out the witch and just put in more islands. And plains. Civilized Scholar. The problem with that guy in this deck is he never really trades. He does draw you some cards, but he comes down a turn fairly late. If he ever flips, it's kind of annoying how he taps himself once he's a big dude. He wasn't the worst card ever, but definitely not the best. More defense is usually just better in this deck. You just want to play defense and mill cards. So we submitted our deck, just waiting on him. Maybe a Silver Chase Fox just as an early blocker, but doesn't seem too necessary. I didn't really see that I recall any enchantments of his own. So, yeah, I'm pretty fine with what I did there. This is a pretty good opening 7. Whenever you see a Ghoul Collar spell with some lands, it's pretty nice. Again, this deck doesn't need many lands to operate with. The curse pretty low. Sophless Cathar just doesn't seem like a very good card. I don't know. Might be better, but to me it doesn't seem like the best. We mill. And again, activating on my main phase, just because I'm afraid of forgetting about it. He tanks, not really sure what about. For next turn, the Doom Traveler seems like a great play. Just slowing him down, making it hard for him to profitably attack.